We are back, and let me tell you something. I'm real excited about this award. This is, the award here at ATG Radio we've been representing since 2010, and since 2010, over the past 2 years of its existence, Ellie Seckbach, good friend of the show, one of the best reporters in the game, 2010-2011 Boxing Reporter of the Year. This year, he was up in it for contention once again, and we're going to give everybody the results right now. Well, if you were on Twitter, you already know what the results are, but we're just going to play like nobody knows what the results are. So drum roll, please.
Give me the iPad.
And the winner for the 2012 Boxing Reporter of the Year, he is an actor, entertainer, president of the Adam Booth Fan Club, and now the 2012 Boxing Reporter of the Year, Mr. Kugan Cassius, and new boxing reporter, pound for pound in the entire world, Mr. Kugan Cassius. Kugan, welcome to ATG.
What's happening,
Radio,
Frank?
my man. Congratulations.
Yeah, what's happening, Frank?
Hey, man, I'm just real excited. You're on here. One of my co-hosts, Mike Doss, is with us right now. We're real excited, man. You won the prestigious 2012 ATG Radio Boxing Reporter of the Year. Took it 2 years in a row. Ellie Seckbach was dominating, but this time over 7,000 votes between you and Ellie Seckbach decided who was going to win, and at the end, you prevailed. And congratulations to you, Kugan. Much deserved. For one, I'm a big fan of your videos, as I know Michael Doss and the rest of the ATG Radio staff is. But, I mean, what do you have to say for it? I know on Twitter you're really excited about winning this award, but hard work pays off, man. iFILM London, representing.
Yeah, Frank, listen, I'm really, it's an absolute honour, especially when you look in the category, and it's the guys on the list from America, Dan Raphael, Ellie Seckbach, etc., much more well-known than I am. So being over here and trying to do something similar to what people like Ellie does in America, and it's not easy. You know, I've been watching Ellie Seckbach stuff for years, and, you know, he's kind of made himself, cemented his place as the number one person on the internet for me. You know, if you want to know about US boxing, Ellie Seckbach's your man. And, you know, at iFILM London, me and my partner James Helder, we've tried to do a similar thing, not based on what Ellie does, because Ellie's stuff, a lot of it's off camera as well. You know, we like to put ourselves in front of the camera. And, yeah, you know, with the help of, you know, everyone that watches, with the help of the fighters, with the help of the promoters, and everyone in British boxing, to be honest, this last 2 years couldn't really have gone any better. So we just want to make things better for 2013, hopefully 14, 15, etc. So.
You know, one thing, Kugan, I like about what you do, man. I mean, look, you know, I'm a senior writer for WorldBoxingNews.net, and I know Phil DJ uses a lot of the videos, especially weigh-ins, interviews, and stuff like that. And that's basically how I got familiar with it. And then I've seen you, and I'm like, dude, this guy is hilarious. And I think your brand, I think, you know, you add a little bit of comedy, you get to the serious stuff, and I think all the fighters warm up to you. And I think, you know, that was the large response that you had on the social networking scene, Twitter and Facebook. You had a lot of these popular world-rated British fighters get behind you in this. And then, I mean, and it shows in your videos. You know, the videos, it shows you have a camaraderie with these fighters. I mean, tell us a little bit about, you know, your brand, your style of boxing reporting.
Well, to be honest, like I said, you're quite spot on, really, and that's what you've just said there is, it's generally the idea of, you know, how our interviews are based. You know, we go to a lot of press conferences and we do a lot of the post-fight stuff. And to be honest, there's a lot of people still doing what we do. But, you know, we just wanted to make it different, put a different spin on the interviews, you know. And some people take that as, oh, you know, you're being too friendly with boxers. We've had that before, and you're being a bit too. But it's not really about. It's really about getting the boxer or whoever we're interviewing, whether it be a trainer, a cutsman, a promoter, a manager, just to bring them out of their shell. You know, they're not on Sky Sports over here. It's, you know, it's quite, you know, how should I put it? It's quite loose and informal. So, you know, they might talk about things, or you might see a side to these boxers, or like I said, trainers or managers, promoters that you normally wouldn't see on the TV. So, you know, and
hey, Kugan, real quick, man, I kind of want to, chime in real quick. You know, you said you get some people that say that, you're too friendly with the fighters. Yeah, the only people that would say that is people that can't get friendly with the fighters, probably your competition.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Frank, I don't mind that, to be honest.
They want to see guys that are friendly.
You know, we get. Listen, I know Ellie gets a little bit of it over in America. You know, with certain fighters, but I think, you know, we try and sort of treat everyone the same. You know, some fighters are more responsive to us in our style than others are. You know, but we try and, you know, I try and have the same, as we say, a banter with the fighters and the promoters than as everyone. It's not like we specifically go out and pick our favourite fighters and then, you know, we only do it a certain way with them. We try and do it with everyone, from fighters that have had, you know, that you may have not heard of, that have had like a couple of fights, to fighters who are fighting for British titles, to fighters that are fighting for world titles. We try and keep it the same, give everyone the same respect, and, you know, and listen, it's worked for us. That style is a bit unconventional and it's a bit raw, but it's worked for us. Like I said, we'll always get, the bigger we get, we'll always get a little bit more negativity put in there, but we're ready for that, you know. We work on that. We don't hate on that. We strive to work on that. So, yeah.
Well, haters is what makes the world go around. You know, we have ours as well. You know, Frank gets emails, I get emails. You know, you guys are doing terrible. I hate your show, this and that. That's what tells me you're still listening. So, you know, there's something there that's making you listen. Either you don't like it or not, you still tune in. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Frank, we get very, very minimal hate. I will say that. It's a very, very small percentage, if any. I mean, it's barely noticeable. But, you know, if we do sometimes, that's fair enough. Everyone's entitled to watch what they want. Everyone's entitled to have whatever opinion about, you know, if someone doesn't like one of my interviews, tell me, that's all right. Listen, there's plenty of people that do watch it and do like it. So, you know, I'm not even hating on them people. If that's what they're doing, that's what they're doing. Good luck to everyone. That's what I'm saying. So.
Let me ask you a question. What was your best memory? What was your best memory? Doss, if you can, buddy, can you get, like, you're really chopping up. We can barely hear what you're saying through the thing. The thing was chopping up. But Kugan.
Okay.
2012, great year for boxing. I got to ask, what is your best memory of 2012 as a boxing fan and as a professional of what you do?
To be honest, there's two moments for me that stood out in 2012 as a fan. One being Carl Froch becoming three-time world champion against Lucien Boutte in Nottingham, and the other one being David Haye and Derek Chisora, just for, you know, getting it on 35,000 fans in London, soaking rain. It was just one of them nights, you know, and David, you know, delivered on the night, and it was the whole build up to the fight, the press conferences, the weigh-in, the big hype around the fight, and yeah, it was they're the two nights in as a fan point of view, you know, that I would have wanted to have been at, and I was at both of them. So yeah, Froch, Boutte, and Chisora and Haye. So,
how about you know, as your business, as you being a reporter, what were some of the best interviews that in 2012 that you could look back and say, you know what, that was gold, that was a treasure right there?
Do you know what? It's a bit of a cliche in saying it, but there were generally too many. I think, you know, between March of 2011 and now, I mean, we've done nearly 1,600 interviews, and you know, the majority of them were in boxing. But I mean, there's loads. There's the ones with like you said, Adam Booth and David Hay and George Groves and Tony Bellew. There's so many that on all different levels. You know, and there's some fighters from here that maybe not as well known in America. That some of my favourite interviews, but there is generally to pick out. To be honest, someone has asked me before. A few people have asked me before. What's been your favourite interview that you've done? And it generally is not because I'm not trying to show favouritism to anyone. It generally is hard to pick one from, like you said, about 1,600 that we've done. And but it's the boxers as well. Like I said to you, it's the majority of the people we interview, they're very responsive to what we're doing. They give us their time. You know, even after fights where they've had long 12-round fights, end of the night, they want to go home. You know, they'll still give us their time. You know, on very rare occasions have we come away from fights, big fights here in the UK, and not got our stuff. You know, they're not contracted to do anything with us. So.
But real quick, what is one guy, as a reporter and a fan, one guy in the UK and then one guy internationally from anywhere that you just never got, kind of like a holy grail guest that you still haven't got out of 1,600?
In the UK, there's a lot of boxers that we haven't got. I wouldn't go as far as saying the holy grail, because we will still get them. It's just our paths haven't crossed yet. So I know that they'll come. But in the UK, there isn't really anyone that we've strived to get for ages and haven't got. The majority of boxers, whether retired, there's still a lot of boxers we haven't interviewed, but it's not anything that we think, we've been trying to get this person for ages, because if they're in British boxing, I'd say there's a good chance that we can get them. When we go outside of Britain, well, there's take your pick, because, we haven't even started on our American assault yet. But when we do, you'll know about it, Frank, all right? When we do, you'll know about it. When we come over there at some point in our lives to do what we do over there, you'll know about it, so...
Well, no, you mentioned that. You mentioned that you're bringing, you're coming out here to the United States. I mean, look, there's the UK invasion, Kell Brook, you got Gavin Rees. I got to ask you this with these guys, Gavin Rees and Kell Brook. Obviously, in our eyes, in the United States, they're coming in as underdogs. Gavin Rees, for example, our 2012 breakthrough fighter, Adrian Broner. A lot of people are talking about him being the heir apparent to Floyd Mayweather. I mean, what chance do you give Gavin Rees against Adrian Broner? And I give Kell Brook one heck of a chance. If it was in the UK, I would have said Kell Brook's winning against Devin Alexander all day. But what in the United States, in Detroit, Michigan, what chance do you give these UK guys coming over here and beating these world champions from the United States?
Well, okay, we'll start with Gavin Rees and Adrian Broner. Listen, we all know what Adrian Broner is. Right, we don't have to, blow smoke for Broner, because we know what he is. But listen, let me tell you, Gavin Rees is one of the most underrated, fearless fighters you'll ever see. And listen, I'm not saying that he's going to come over to Atlantic City and knock Adrian Broner out. But I'm telling you that Gavin Rees will give it everything he's got, and what he has got. He's got a lot of heart, and he's gonna give moments to Broner. I'm telling you that now. Listen, like I said to you, I'm not saying here that he's gonna come there, and I would love it if he did. I'm hopeful. I'm coming out there. I'm hopeful that he does cause an upset, like you said, going in as the underdog. But Gavin Rees is fearless. Doesn't care. All Gavin Rees wants to do is fight. He's not fussed about who's put in front of him. He just wants to fight. And he's going to go out there with that attitude. And you know what? Like you said, he's going there as a massive underdog. But stranger things have happened. And we got to back our man, Gavin Reeves, from here. Like I said, it's a tall order coming over to America. Broner being tabbed as the new Mayweather. You know, it's going to be very difficult for him. You know, but like I said, he comes to fight. You know, he'll come there to fight. He'll give it everything he's got. And he's very underrated in this country. You know, very, very underrated. But we'll see. And then as regards to Kell Brook, you know, it's not a walk in the park for Kell Brook, but then again, it's not going to be a walk in the park for Devin Alexander as well. You know, I'm fully backing Kell. I mean, listen, I don't have to say this. I'm going to say it. I'm fully backing Kell Brook to, you know, I don't even think it's too much of an upset. It probably will be in some people's eyes an upset if Kell did win, brings that title back to England. But people that know Kell Brook here and have watched Kell Brook here, you know, this guy, you know, has got it. And then this is the next level for Kell. You know, he's undefeated here and he's moving up in calibre of opponents with Devin Alexander. And if he's going to win a world title, these are the guys he's got to beat. And I don't give him no reason why he can't go and do that. It's going to be difficult, don't get me wrong, but, you know, I don't see why Kell Brook was not going to come home with that title from Detroit.
I think Kell Brook has emerged. I think he's an animal now. He's undefeated. I think he has that demeanor of a world-class fighter, and I'm looking forward to it. You know, I mean, I look at it like this, Kugan and Mike Doss. I know both of you guys here, and while we got both of you guys here, it's a fight I hope doesn't go to a decision, because I see if it does go to 12 rounds, I see it looking close. I see, you know, each side seeing it for their guy, and then everybody's going to be screaming robbery at the end of the day. And, I mean, that's the one thing I hate about boxing is, you know, I say like this. I know the UFC says it all the time, you know, don't leave it in the judge's hands. You know, I hope in Kell Brook's case, I'm actually a fan of Kell Brook. I'm a fan of Devin Alexander. He's graced our show numerous times. I want to see somebody get knocked out, you know, in this fight. That's it. I think that's all we can ask for is if Kell Brook comes over here and knocks out Devin Alexander, I don't think he's going to be invited back to the United States by a lot of the welterweights. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's the type of move he needs to make. But I mean, kudos. Let me tell you something like this. Look, besides Nathan Cleverly last year coming over and beating Sean Hawk, and let's just I like Nathan Cleverly. He's been on the show. Great guy. I think he's a very talented fighter, but he beat Sean Hawk. You know, but besides that, over the past couple of years, you got these guys coming from the UK over fighting our elite guys, most notably Sergio Martinez. I mean, this guy's been gobbling up friggin' UK fighters left and right over the past couple of years. I hope it changes. You know, I want to see guys like Tyson Fury and David Price come over here, and I think, you know, they're two of the most exciting guys in the heavyweight division. And I got to say this to you, winding down here with you, Kugan, but, 2012, you have emerged. You know, there's a lot of people in the United States that have took notice to you, myself, Michael Doss, the entire ATG Radio crew. But as well as not just you, I think it's just UK boxing as a whole, because I mentioned the Afro names that I mentioned, David Price, Tyson Fury, Kell Brook, Nathan Cleverly, Tony Bellew, George St. Groves. I mean, you got guys coming up. You got trainers. You got Adam Booth, Franny Smith, Peter Fury. You got guys that are coming up. Carl Froch, one of the best fighters in the world. I think 2012 and even leading into 2013, just to say for the UK, it's looking pretty damn good.
Yeah, no, listen, I totally agree with you, and I think everyone in UK boxing is very optimistic that this year, 2013, more fighters will be given world title shots than any other, in every other year, because there's a lot of fighters that are in contention. People like Tony Bellew, who's probably one fight away from fighting for a world title. You got people like David Price, like you mentioned, Tyson Fury. These guys are just, you're talking a couple of fights away from fighting for world titles. We've got 2 world titles in the space of a week we're going for. Whether, one of them's an underdog or both of them are underdogs, it doesn't matter. We've got 2 chances there in Reason and Brook. So everything's very optimistic, and there's a lot of other fighters. We've still got Ricky Burns here. The Ricky Burns, Adrian Broner thing still hasn't been come to some sort of conclusion whether they'll fight later on in the year. Nathan Cleverly, Bernard Hopkins, these are the fights that the British fans want to see. So, we're very optimistic this year, especially more that we have 3 world champions at the moment, Frotch, Cleverly, and Burns. We're looking to hopefully double that number by the end of the year in whatever weight category, whatever comes. So we're hopeful. So and also Martin Murray from here is fighting, who you just mentioned there, Sergio Martinez. And Martin Murray's a very, very good fighter. And the realm of Sergio Martinez has to end one day. So we're hoping it is for Martin Murray. Can pull it off in Argentina in April.
No, Kugan, you know what,
yeah.
man? Boss, did you have anything else?
Well, I mean, he mentioned a lot of good fighters. There's some up-and-coming guys. Lee Purdy's another one to look out for. I think, this year could be very, very big for the UK, especially with the heavyweight, Tyson Fury and David Price.
Also, David Haye as well. David Haye, if he gets the fight with Vitali, that's surely the heavyweight fight the world wants to see. George Groves could be knocking on a door for a world title this year. James DeGale, there's so many people on, we're talking not many fights away for fighting for a world title. So, we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
And a lot of them guys in the same division, if they do win their world title, they can set up a mega fight with all the other guys from England in their division. I mean, the possibilities are endless for England. I think 2013 could be a very good year.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there's nothing better than a world title fight in this country. I know it's good when, our guys like Brooke and Reeves are going over to America if they win over there. It's great and it's an unbeatable thing. But for fighters to fight here, 2 British fighters to fight for world titles, like you just said, a lot of these people in the same way. If we see Price fighting Fury for a world title here in this country, I mean, you don't get bigger than that. If we see these guys in their own weight, British fighters, that's what we want. So we're hopeful. We're hopeful and optimistic, and all good.
Kugan, I gotta get into this with you, man. iFILMLondon.com. They can go in there, check more about you. Obviously, iFILM London on YouTube, or just Kugan Cassius. Google them, YouTube them. I was enlightened about a week ago to see when you were the bodyguard of Ricky Hatton. There was some fun stuff there. That video's hilarious. It's great stuff. Kugan Cassius, let me tell you someone here. We're glad, first and foremost, congratulations. At the end of the day, it's your supporters, your friends, your fans, got you here. And we thank you as well. We're trying to, cross-brand everything. We're huge fans of the boxing in the United Kingdom, huge fans of what you're doing over at iFILM London. Just a great entity there. And we look forward in 2013, Kugan, having you, back on the show, obviously, and supporting everything that you do, man. And I just want to let everybody know, iFILMLondon.com, iFILM London on YouTube, at Kugan Cassius on Twitter. And Kugan, do you have any final words out there you want to throw to the fans? Supporters?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, everybody that's ever had anything positive to say, everyone who has ever had anything negative to say about iFILM London in general, just, thank you. Everyone who's watched one of our videos, thank you. Everyone who sent us tweets, YouTube comments, whatever it is, Facebook comments, thank you. I just want to say a thank you to a few guys that have, iFILM London is run by me and my partner James Helder. We're a 2-man army that do it, but we've had some help. So big up Laurie Lowell, Mick Slaney, Dave Morgan, Mike Lenan, Frank the Shank, and there's probably a few other guys I've missed out as well. But thank you to everyone. Like I said, we're a small team and we're just doing our thing, and we hope people like it. So, and thank you to ATG Radio as well, because this is a good thing for us. And it's
Kugan, I'm glad, man. I was going to hit up Adam Booth, tell him to give you a hard time next time you interview him. No, man, we appreciate it. No, Kugan, let me tell you something. We appreciate, everything, man. You brought a lot of new faces and a lot of new ears to our show, and a lot of people have definitely been, saying that they came from you, man. So we appreciate that as well. And like I said, 2013 is the sky's the limit for you guys, and definitely looking forward to getting up with you next time you come out here to the United States. But Kugan Cassius, 2012 Boxing Reporter of the Year. Congratulations, my man. We'll definitely stay tuned to what's up next for you in iFILM London.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Happy New Year, my friend. Have a good one.
Happy New Year to you, ATG Radio.
Thank you, bro. All right, there you have it. Kugan Cassius, the 2012 Boxing Reporter of the Year.